Alrighty, go ahead. You're good to go.
The D4C Racing Network presents live 5-to-5 coverage of the Collar Street Cup Series. Hi, folks. I'm Form the Crowd, alongside here with my co-commentators HD Motorsports and Dirty Deeds. And, folks, we have a fantastic race for you today at Richmond Raceway. We're going to go with the Cup Series cars for 50% of the normal race length. And I got to tell you, HD Motorsports, this is a really fun track. You see a lot of action, especially in turn number 3. What can we expect for today's race?
Thank you there for that presentation right there. I'm expecting a lot of close racing tonight. There's a lot of jam-packed field. We got 21 cars out on the field tonight running Richmond. I expect a lot of close racing, a lot of side-by-side racing, a lot of battling for that inside line because the inside line is going to dominate this racetrack tonight.
And talking about that inside line, HD, you see a lot of times here at Richmond, especially in turns number 3 and 4, but also in turns number 1 and 2, having a really fast line and flirting with disaster, hitting that apron, can really cost you the race.
Yes, sir, that apron is a monster. You know, we all know the Monster Mile, but this is a monster of his own with that apron. You touch that apron down there, you're going to spin, no question, without a doubt, in my mind. And it's also going to be interesting to see because the low line is so dominant. You're going to have to get the run off the corners. In order to do that, you're going to have to back your car up to be able to get the run off the corner to sneak under that car in front of you to get that run into the corner.
And speaking of that, Dirty Deeds, do you expect to see a lot of cautions this race? Or you think will be a lot of action? Or maybe more of a more calm race where these drivers trying to be a little more careful to make sure they don't end up in a disaster situation?
Well, I think that with the field we have tonight and the level of talent that there is, I don't look for there to be a lot of cautions. What I'm watching the most here is what happens during green flag pit stops with people getting the dreaded pit road penalty.
And certainly speeding on pit road can cost you at least a lap, I would say. It's about 15-second penalty, and that speed limit, I believe it's 35 miles per hour, correct?
Yes, sir. 35 mile an hour. So getting in that line right there and some side-by-side racing, you're going to have to watch that you don't accidentally hit that pit road there and get to serve a big penalty and be 2 laps down.
And that's a really, tough call for some of these drivers to make because they're flying down the backstretch, and under these green flag pit stops, they're going to have to get slowed up pretty quick to not lose too much time. And also, these other drivers have to be careful as well that they don't overshoot when they're coming on pit road or behind someone who's on that inside line, correct? You don't want to have somebody ram into you, either spin you out or push you onto pit road at too fast of a rate.
Right. Yes, exactly. That's and there's going to be quite a bit of probably too wide getting into that turn there. So I think these guys are good enough here to make it happen, but just one little error and one little touch in the wrong place, and down pit road you go with a big penalty.
In HD, we've got a really fantastic group of drivers here for the Collar Street Cup Series on D4C. And do you have any particular favorites going into qualifying in this race? Who you think might be some of the drivers to look out for?
My number one driver to look out for is Valley Racing. That dude is strong everywhere he goes. Qualifying, long runs, without a doubt, he's just a machine. He hits his marks every single lap, and he's a tough competitor to beat every single race. My dark horse for tonight is definitely got to be Gotham for qualifying.
Okay. And what about you, Dirty Deeds?
I think that it's hard to bet against that 12-car Valley. I think, though, that my pick for this race is going to be the car driven by Rose, GMC Rose. With my, it's kind of a toss-up between him and AK Poopy Pants there. It's kind of hard to pick between those two, to be honest.
Well, I can certainly understand that, and those are some really great drivers that you all mentioned. And, of course, Valley Racing, as everyone knows, is one, I think, about half of the competitions that Xbox has put on and is going to take that trip to Miami, along with some others coming from this side of the game with the Xbox console. But I got to tell you, folks, I'm really looking out here for the Cosmic Storm, and perhaps, Heated Snowman. He tends to run pretty well on these shorter tracks, and I think his aggressive driving style, for better or worse, can get him up front. So I think those are two drivers to look out for, along with, I think, Valley Racing. It's hard not to pick him as at least one of your choices for a type of race like this. Now, as far as the strategy for this particular race, I know D4C has a number of different rules packages that they run per se. Will this race have stages, or we will go green flag unless there's a true caution?
I'll say off with this one right here. Richmond, no cautions, very highly unlikely, especially with that apron coming in the middle of that turn. I think it's going to be a problem all night. So I do think we are going to have yellow flag pit stops. We might go a stage green. But it's going to be interesting to see when it comes down to it, the pit strategies these guys are going to be doing, whether they're going to stay on older tires to keep that position, or they're going to come down and take 4 and be able to get a better run off the corners. It'll be very interesting to see.
And HD, you're a driver and you're really experienced on tracks like this and others. What would your strategy be for a race like this? Would you try and stay out as long as possible, even on those older tires, or try and short pit and try and get an advantage throughout the race?
I mean, my strategy is going to be, honestly, it depends on what at the particular time is going on. If we're at the end of the race, without a doubt, I'm staying out. You want that track position. Richmond's such a hard track to make passes, as we are underway qualifying right now, as we have, it looks like, the 38 car out there doing his first laps. But at the end of the race, you definitely want that track position. Early on, I definitely go for taking tires, because if you do get a long run, it's going to prevail for you, and you're going to be able to pass cars a little bit easier.
And for those that aren't familiar with the qualifying system that D4C uses for their Cup Series, it's just the best lap time for each driver under this 12-lap section?
No, they're going to be single car qualifying right here. So they'll all take their laps, and then they'll pull off, and the next car will go. It'll be interesting to see, who's going to get the pole right here. Who do you got for the pole formula?
Well, that's a really good question. I have to go with Valley Racing for the pole. I mean, I know that there's some other drivers that tend to be better qualifiers on occasion, but Valley Racing has always been good at Richmond. I ran with them a few times here on some of the older games, and I just got to say Valley Racing is my pick.
There you go. There, I was talking to Valley in the garage before the race started. He wasn't so confident on himself with getting the pole. I know he says he has a good race trim car, a good racing car. So it'd be interesting to see if he can pull out the pole, honestly.
And as we see, some of the drivers are on the backstretch right now. So will these drivers get one lap to make their qualifying run, or how many laps do they get?
They do get, I believe, 2 laps it is. Although I'm being told it's a major echo, so Deeds, if you can take over while I deal with the stream real quick.
Certainly. But as we can see, some of the drivers going around the track, Dirty Deeds. Any predictions from you on who might get the pole?
The pole is kind of hard to pick. Basically a matter of who hits the best line around the track for the get up to speed lap, and then also your qualifying lap. And it'd be hard to bet against D4C 4-speed for the pole, but then again, I'm probably going to have to take Valley Racing 93 in the 21 car as my pole setter.
Well, D4C 4-speed always seems to have it in 4th gear, flying down the road, so to speak. So that's definitely an interesting pick on your end. We won't know until the end of this particular session who has taken the pole. We don't have any live telemetry for you, unfortunately. But we will find out here in just a few moments. I see the 48 of D4C here on the inside of the track. 41 of 4-speed is coming around. Few other drivers out there as well. I see the number 11 of CGM Rose going into turn number 3 in that number 11 FedEx Express car.
I believe that is the 51 there behind him, isn't it?
I could not quite tell from my camera angle.
Possibly the 31 there of D4C Outlaw. That 31 there also seen on the track. We've got Rose going off into turn. I believe that would be turn 3 and 4. I saw that there. But we won't know who's qualified where until after the qualifying's over, though. So.
And just for a procedural aspect here, as far as our audience knows, who may not be familiar with this, I know they take a couple laps, but I believe this race is set up for 12 laps, correct? So once these drivers have completed their laps, will they just crawl around the track and make sure that they don't make a competitive lap, I guess?
They can do that, or they can wait on the clock to turn on. But I look for them to probably drive around the track here, get the timer to tick on once everybody's completed their laps.
Well, that's certainly something I didn't know about. To be honest with you, Dirty Deeds, I didn't know there was a timer. So
yes, yep. There's a timer that kicks on after the car takes speed, and I believe it's a 2-minute clock. I could be wrong on that though. Might be a 1-minute clock.
Well, okay. Well, the more you know.
The more you know.
That's right.
Look. He's looking good down the backstretch, headed into 3.
I'm looking at the number 13 car. That's JCX12, I believe. And it looks like he had a pretty fast lap time himself, but again, we won't know until they do finish qualify. He pulls onto the apron coming out of turn number 2.
Got him, follows him onto the apron in the 3. Yep, I believe that's the end of qualifying. Now it's time to have a little bit of fun.
As we see a couple cars go flipping down the entrance of turn number 1. I really like that number 38 paint scheme of Jose 720. It's a very classic look.
That's a very nice paint scheme. I also like the paint scheme on the 43 car with the green this week. Boy, it's kind of hard to call an upset. If I had to, and like I say, it's really hard there. I would say that although we've shown a lot of speed here, I believe that for Dirty Worm Germ to come through and pull off the victory is very, very possible. With the field of competition that's out there right now, I can see him pulling off a win. At the same time, though, I would probably consider that to be an upset.
Well, and you somewhat stole my pick there, Dirty Deeds, but I'm going to go with the 38 of Jose 720. I'm not sure if it's that paint scheme or what, but I've raced with Jose before in some different leagues in the past. I know he's got a lot of speed, and he may not be the favorite for today's race, but he's my pick for an upset winner. What about you, HD? HD, at this time, maybe you can explain to our viewers a little bit. There is a team-based aspect to this Collar Street Cup Series, correct? They do have teammates with them, and when we get more into the regular season, that has a little bit more of an impact. But there's definitely a disparity one would observe between some of the teams. And HD, just a simple housekeeping note here. I just received a message from a striker that for some reason your audio is not coming through, so may want to check on that for just a minute. We apologize for the technical difficulties, folks. As we're getting ready to go live here at Richmond Raceway for the Collar Street Cup Series, presented by Duel for Cash. And as we're getting loaded at this moment, these drivers will take a couple of pace laps. And then we'll be ready to go green. And Dirty Deeds, while we're waiting here, any particular, I guess, guesstimate or maybe bet on how many cautions we will have today, if you had to give me a particular number?
In a 200-lap race here, I'm looking for probably at least, I would say, I'm looking for at least 2 green flag runs. Now, what that means for cautions, I think that a good number on cautions would be under 10, but we know here at Richmond that generally that is kind of a crapshoot on what you get.
And the green flag is out, and we're on the backstretch, right? Actually, my underdog pick for today's race is your pole sitter. It's the 38 of Jose 720. Going to lead the first lap here.
Jose is not only set the pole, but he seems to be walking away, and he's got the 8 car right on his bumper there.
Yes, the number 8 of Sledgehammer is right on his tail.
Sledgehammer.
All right, guys, I hope you have a
there.
copy. I think they should have a copy of me right now. I don't know if one of you two are watching the stream and can hear me, or if anyone's watching the stream, if you can give me a quick message to let me know you can hear me, that would be awesome.
That's a 10-4 HD. We can hear you through the stream.
Alrighty, again, sorry with the technical difficulties. I'm streaming through a new platform right now, but we are underway for Richmond, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, why don't you go ahead and take it away real quick?
And we see the number 1 of Cosmic Storm is in 3rd place with the 37 of Pro Viper right behind him in 4th as we're going through the field looking at our top drivers. The number 15 car, that's Knights, is right behind him. And they're getting a little bit strung out here right now, Dirty Deeds. Yes,
they've got them lined up here pretty nice in single file. Looks like a whole lot of calmness going on at the beginning of the race. A little bit of give and take there as we've got the 1 car of Cosmic running 3rd. And I believe that would be the 37 of Pro Viper there in 4th. And they've kind of got a 5-car breakaway going here early.
And there's certainly a pack right behind them, a little bit of a gap. And I think that they're going to start fighting for position here as the tires wear off. And I thought for a minute there that the number 8 car of Sledgehammer was going to be able to get past our pole sitter, Jose 720, but I think for the moment he's just backed off just a little bit, maybe try to get a feel for his car and really just not push too hard here at the beginning stages of this race.
Yeah.
Looking back through the field here, we got the AK Poopy Pants in the 18 just lost 2 positions to the 34 of Aviator, and another one to the 31 of Outlaw.
Yeah, I'm taking a quick look at Poopy Pants right here in the 18 machine, running about, I'd say, around 9th place. As you say, he did lose 2 positions right there, but I expect Poopy Pants to come back strong. He is last year's champion. He's last year's champion for a reason. He's got a strong car everywhere he goes, and he's definitely a contender at every single racetrack.
In HT, when you look at a race like this, where they are running pretty single file through the field so far, and that bottom group is really prevalent, I think we can predict that as the race goes on and it gets tighter and tighter, you might be seeing the use of that chrome horn, a little bit of bumper-to-bumper action in the turns to try and get by some of these drivers as the frustration builds up and the sense of urgency increases.
Yeah, the frustration is going to build up, and it's going to build up fast at this track. Like we talked about in the pre-race, this is a one-groove track. It's that bottom line. In order to pass someone, you are going to have to get below him or give him a little bumper going into the corner to force him up the track to get under him.
Oh, and we got an issue. Our leader, Jose 720, hit the wall and holds on to it for just a minute. The number 8 of Sledgehammer was looking to pounce. I think he backed off. And now it's the number 1 of the Cosmic Storm who's taken second place. On that previous lap, the number 8 of Sledgehammer was all over his back bumper. I think he might have misjudged and had to lose a little bit of distance there.
Jose was looking like he was a little tight there in that turn. He was up the track there. The one decided to stay behind him there, though, so I think they're being a little careful and courteous here at the beginning. And we might have the one underneath for a lead change. Yep. I believe we do.
Oh, little contact.
Yep. Oh, there's no
contact.
Caution's out.
Not yet. Caution.
Caution's on the track.
Yeah, caution is out right now.
And I couldn't quite tell what caused that caution. It must have been further back through the field.
And we got the 3. We got the 3 and the 31 up against the wall, just sitting there stuck. That would be D4C got him, and the 31 would be
Outlaw.
I think the 15 may also have been involved in that, but without a replay, I really can't say for sure.
Yeah, definitely the 3 and the 31 right there, hard into that inside wall. It looks kind of like someone got loose coming off of 2, and also as the run goes on in these tires, it's going to get extremely loose off of the corners. And these guys are going to be battling that all night long, especially as we get longer into the green ones, as we're getting ready to go green, ladies and gentlemen. As we got the 38 of Jose starting outside in second place with the 10 of Lightning on the inside of him coming down into turn 1. Jose gets a horrible jump right there off the start.
It looked like he missed a shift or something. Oh, there may be an issue. They're going very slow.
I think we're lining up for a manual restart here, folks.
Yes, sir. Excuse me. That's right. They do manual restarts as Jose lost the position out of that. I think the 10 stayed on older tires. There goes that strategy right there, staying out on the older tires to get that track position.
But HD, I got to tell you, when you're the only person that stays out on old tires, that's got to make you feel a little nervous.
Yeah, there's only one thing you call these people, and you call them wounded gazelles, because there's a pack of lions behind this guy ready to pounce on him, coming down into turn 1. It'd be interesting to see how long he can hold on for this.
The green flag is out, and for the time being, it is the number 10 of Lightning Bird as your leader. In second place, it's Cosmic Storm with your pole sitter, and the number 38 car of Jose 720. And the number 21 of Valley Race is looking to the inside of Sledgehammer, and also the 37 of Pro Viper. And he is now getting ready to go to the inside of the 38. Jose 720 into turn number 3. Doesn't quite have the position yet. Oh, there's contact.
And he slams the door on him.
Yeah, I think that's a caution.
Caution is out. I tell you what, there was getting ready to be a big battle up there for the lead. The 1 of Cosmic was pushing hard on the 10 on the outside in turn 3. That caution was an out. I guarantee he would have cleared him coming out of 4, going down into 1. But yes, as we have a pile-up right there coming out of 4.
And a really fast restart there by Valley Racing. He just came up out of nowhere.
I think he gained 4 or 5 positions there.
And I think the number 10 of Lightning Bird, do you think he stays out this time and just continues with the strategy?
I think he's got to continue with the strategy. We only went 2 to 3 laps right there. He's still got the lead as he's going to pit, actually, as the 1 of Cosmic's going to take the lead, and Jose and that 38 machine starting in second as they're getting ready to go do the little pace lap before we go green. We got Valley sitting third in the 21. And I can't really catch you that is in fourth.
That's the 37 of
That's
Pro
the 37.
Viper.
Yes.
And I think Cosmic's going to have a pretty good restart, but the number 21 of Valley Racing had a really great restart last time, and I think he's going to be right there looking to the inside going down the backstretch.
Yeah, you definitely want to get on the inside line. Valley's definitely sitting in a beautiful spot right behind Cosmic. I guarantee he's going to be pushing his bumper. He's going to time this start just perfect. And the matter is Jose is going to be able to jump in. He's not. Yeah. I guarantee you coming to turn one right here, Valley will clear Jose.
Oh, bad. Very bad
Back
start
to green
there.
and a terrible restart by the 38.
Yeah, it's just so difficult to get these timings down as Valley does clear the 38 coming down into turn 3.
And he's still up high. Jose 720s, the number 8 of Sledgehammer, is looking to his inside. I don't know if he's going to get the position on this lap. Jose comes down on him.
Jose drove it into that corner. That's a very smart move right there for Jose because there's a line of cars behind him. And if he lets that 8 get below
hard
him.
in the wall.
And if Jose
definitely some contact.
We got contact in the back.
Well, there are a few different drivers that hit the outside wall as the number 21 of Valley Racing peeks to the inside. Doesn't have the position quite yet. Down the backstretch into turn number 3. They're side by side. Oh, and the number 1 of Cosmic Storm smacks the wall. That's going to give Valley Racing the lead. It's number 38 of Jose. Goes right past him.
I think that's something that the field didn't want to see happen, to let that 21 car there get that lead.
Nah, this 21 car is going to be putting in cruise control right now. As you can see, that lead to second place is just growing. It's about a second and a half right now to Cosmic. Storm in second, battling hard for third place. For second place, excuse me. And we have a battle going on in third place, side by side, coming out turn 2.
Yeah, we've got Rose up against the wall here in turns 1 and 2, and he's just stuck there in the wall. Not sure if he's got a problem or what's going on there, but he's slow.
That's an unfortunate break for him right now, and I think what happened was everybody backed off a little bit, and that let Valley Racing get ahead of some of these guys, and they were battling for position there for about a lap or two, and that's really let them extend that gap.
Yeah, as the gap is starting to grow, but I think Cosmic might be catching him a little bit because he's got that mess behind him with the 8 of Sledgehammer and the 38 of Jose. But I got my eye on right now for this battle for third place as Jose's getting a little pressure from behind from looks like the 34.
The 43! The 43 of Tech 9's down on the apron. Looks like he spun out there coming out of turn number 2.
Oh, and there goes the 48 along with the 13, I believe it was. They're spun on the backstretch up against the inside wall. And I believe we're back under caution.
We are back under caution, ladies and gentlemen. This is the third caution of the night in the first stage. These boys are getting a little antsy here. I mean, we knew Richmond was going to be a lot of bumping, a lot of grinding through these corners. It's a tough track, especially with that apron. But I tell you what, Valley's up in front, and it's going to be interesting to see if anybody does the strategy of not pitting here.
I'm thinking what we're seeing is some cars getting loose off exit there and shooting down to that bottom wall. They're trying to catch it. Which we know is always an issue here at Richmond.
And really some tough conditions already for some of these drivers. And yeah, I think Valley right now, him and Cosmic seem to be your top 2. And some of these drivers that are, further back through the field think, well, if I can get it just right on pit strategy, as we see the number 38 of Jose 720 will be your leader after this pace lap. Try to get them shuffled back through the field, get them off cycle.
Well, I tell you what, there is 5 cars right now that just pulled strategy. 5 of them. We had the 41, 38,
4-speed,
78, 13, and the 18 of Poopy Pants all pulling strategy right here, staying out on these older tires. And that's going to push Valley back into 6th position on the outside lane. I guarantee he's going to lose at least 2 to 3 spots after leading a couple laps right there, coming to caution.
But if he can get down the bottom, he can definitely make up some more cars, at least within a lap or 2, I think. The way he's racing, he's got a really fast machine right now.
And we're underway.
Turn number 4.
As the 41 gets behind Jose, that's a strong move from the 41. coming down into turn 1 as he's not going to get freight train on the inside. That's a really good start by the 41.
Hey, let's not forget the 78 of J.R. Horn running in 3rd place right behind the 41.
Yeah, we haven't talked his name all night, as well as 18 of Poopy Pants is up in 4th. As these two guys have been battling in the back of the pack, but they gamble here, not pitting during that last caution. They've only went about 3 to 4 laps under those tires. Oh, the 18 is around. Huge wreck out of turn 2. Huge wreck.
That's a big wreck. Big wreck.
And caution is out.
18 got loose there on the bottom and just couldn't correct it in time and took out the car above him. I couldn't really tell who it was.
Yeah,
that's going to cost Poopy a whole lot of spots. He finds himself dead last on the track.
I tell you what, that's what's the challenge of running Richmond. My experience running Richmond as a driver is you make these cars so loose to be able to make this turn, be able to stay low all the way through the turn. Coming off, you find yourself turning the wheel just a tad bit much, and you're going to go spinning, and it's very, very hard to catch the car once you start spinning here at Richmond.
And they're running so close on a short track like this that one little mistake, especially if you're towards the front, you might wreck half the field by the end of it.
And that's exactly what happened as you look at Poopy Pants losing easily 12, 10 positions as he's all the way in the back. He's not exactly in the back, but he is back there. As well as a lot of top dog drivers got involved in that wreck, it looks like.
And one thing we have to keep in mind here, too, is that NASCAR Heat does not have a damage model for its online component. So whenever you don't have a damage model, I think it does encourage these drivers to be a little more aggressive sometimes in their driving, have their car set up a little bit looser, and the consequences for getting involved in a wreck are much less severe than an online race with damage or real life, for example. So you might lose some track position, but this early in the race, as they're coming back out of turn number 4, and the green flag will be coming out, as the number 38 of Jose 720 leads him into turn number 1.
And the 41's going to get a good restart again on the outside. He's going to clear the 78 of J.R. Horn. Coming down into turn 3 as the 1 of Cosmics back up to 4th. I'd look to see him advance a few positions here if we go green.
It's looking like our top 4 has decided to make it a single file race here, at least for the moment. And that's stringing on out too, so maybe these drivers are starting to calm down a little bit. Oh, 48 to the inside wall.
The 41 looking to the inside. That's 4 speed. Side by side down the front stretch. He's got the advantage.
Yeah, he's got the advantage coming out in turn 1. He's going to clear him with ease. Coming at it too as Jose is going to lose that position, as well as we got J.R. Horn under Jose right now coming into turn 3. He's going to back out of it though, get right behind him.
Ooh, I think there may have been some contact. I think Jose might have ran into the back of our leader just a tad and had to get off the gas a little bit.
I'll tell you what, right now, Jose looks like he's struggling through the middle of the corner, especially in turn 3. Watch as we come down into turn 3, in the middle of turn 3 and 4. He's going to drift up the track, and that's going to give the 78 a huge advantage to get under him as he's able to stick at that time all the way through the corner. But I've been watching him. He's been drifting up the track a lot in 3 and 4. Might want to make an adjustment or two to fix that.
And it's definitely letting the 41 of 4-speed get a little bit of an advantage on these top 2, 3, 4 drivers. The gap's expanding just little by little after the last couple laps.
I tell you, one driver that's really struggling in this race is the 11 of GCM Rose. He finds himself way back from the pack right at the moment.
As it
And
looks like
under caution again.
we have another caution. Guys, I want to thank the sponsor under this caution. I want to thank Color Street Nails. Now, guys, I know you're out there watching. I know we've all been in the doghouse at one point. If you're in the doghouse right now, sleeping on the couch tonight, why don't you go ahead and go to colorstreetnails.com, buy your loved one some nails, and I guarantee you by tomorrow night you'll be back in bed sleeping nice.
And we really do appreciate them sponsoring this Cup Series for Duel for Cash. And I got to tell y'all a funny little story. I was approached by someone at D4C last week, and they said, hey, they really liked the broadcast, but you were pronouncing their name wrong. It's Collar. And I said, well, apologize. My southern accent comes out sometimes, and I pronounce Collar a little bit off. So definitely really appreciate Collar Street Cup Series, and I'm sure that HD and Dirty Deeds can correct my pronunciation of that throughout the broadcast. But again, really appreciate our cup sponsor.
Yeah, and again, that's Color Street Nails / Starshine Nails.
As we're making this pace lap, it looks like the number 10 of Lightning Bird is going to be your leader.
Yeah, he's going to stay out yet again to be able to gain his positions. As the 41 to 4 speed who was leading that race is going to start in 4th, as we had 2 other cars stay out with Lightning Bird. We had the 31 staying out, as well as
Gotham's
the 8.
On the outside. As they go green, the number 3 of D4C Gotham is in 2nd place, running a very high line.
But the big thing right there, he's going to be able to clear the 3rd place car coming into turn 3, and he's going to want to stay low, try and stay as close as he can to the 10, as he's going to drift up very high coming out of turn 4, and that's going to give the 41 a great run on him. But I don't expect him to get side by side coming down in turn 1. As this 10, I tell you what, this 10 on these older tires is doing pretty well.
And the number 31 of Outlaw, he actually got shoved up the track a little bit, hit that outside wall, and he's going to lose a position or 2. I think that's the number 8 of Sledgehammer, who just went by him.
Well, we got the 41 moving up to 2nd place here, and the 18 Poopy Pants is trying to follow him through around D4C Gotham.
I tell you what, 4-speed, a little contact. Poopy Pants giving the 3, excuse me, I got him a little bit of little side panel right there to get by him, as he's going to force the issue. But I tell you what, I'm looking to see this 41 of 4-speed catch the 10 in the next couple laps. We know he's got a fast car. He ended up taking tires on that last stop, and I guarantee you for the 2 to 3 laps, he's going to be battling for that lead.
Well, I got to tell you, this field's looking pretty wild still. I mean, they've managed to go green here for a few laps, but there's definitely some action all across the board. I don't think Gotham's going to forget the number 18 Poopy Pants gave a little bit of a shove there to get past. Drivers never
that's something
forget.
you're going to want to watch throughout the race.
And the number 10 of Lightning Birds still has about the same gap that he had a few laps ago.
I tell you, he's
So I'm
holding
a
up.
little
Oh, the
surprised.
41 gets a little loose there coming out of turn 2. That 10 is holding up pretty strong. I'm shocked right now. I didn't expect him to hold this lead for this many laps on a little bit older tires. But as we get into this run, this car is going to get looser. Those tires are going to show. They're still kind of early on, about 3 to 4 laps after that last pit stop. As we're getting pretty strung out right now all the way through the field.
And I think the number 18 of Poopy Pants is closing up the gap a little bit on the 41 4-speed.
Oh, we got 2 or 3 cars in the wall. 4 cars. There's a 4-car crash. The 37's around. I believe that would have been the
38.
I didn't really get a chance to see there. The 38 is involved.
20.
We got the 37.
Yeah, the 37's
Also involved in that.
We have the 37 of Pro Viper. We have the 38 of Jose involved in that. And it looked like the 20 of Heated Snowman was involved in that wreck as well, coming across the start-finish line.
So yet another caution for these drivers and another chance for some off-pit strategy to happen. And I got to tell you, when you think about it, between saving fuel and not using up the tires, these drivers who tend to stay out, I think have the advantage right now. If we keep having cautions like this throughout the race, they're not going to burn up their tires as much as they normally would.
That's an awesome call right there. They are still in stage 1, though. I do believe underway. So, I mean, it's a little early to be playing the tire game. I think at this point during the race, you want to pit, especially if you're in that back-to-back, in my opinion. You want to pit to keep those tires fresh. So, when the opportunity does come on, you go on to like a 7-10 lap run. The guys in front of you are gonna pit and take tires, where you kind of still have those fresh tires where those other guys have been staying out. You'll be able to bypass them with only about 7 lap older tires than those guys. So I think if you're in the back of the pack right now early on, you do want to continue to pit, take those tires, take fuel, and play the strategy game for the end of the race.
And at this time, let's try and get a lap count on how many laps are in and how many laps we have left as they come out of turn number 4.
So I got a lap count
with the number 3.
They are on lap 62 of 200.
Alrighty, and the number 3 of Gotham leads into turn number 1 with Valley Racing right behind him.
So I'm going to excuse me. There are actually no stages right now in this winter season. They've run a straight 200 lap race. So throw the stages out of the window. It's pretty much positioning yourself at the right position at the end of the race, because when it comes down to it, we're going to see cautions at the end of the race, without a doubt. People are going to be driving a lot harder than what they are now. Cautions are going to breed cautions at the end of the race. So I stand by what I'm saying. You want to pit early on, and then as you get towards the end of the race, with about 50, 40, maybe 35-ish laps left, that's when I would gamble to stay out to pick up positions.
Ooh, and Valley is peeking to the inside. He's not quite there yet to go after Gotham in that number 3 car, but he is ready to pounce.
I tell you, Muffin's really putting the pressure in that 14 car on the 13 there, on back in the pack here of JCX 12, and he finally clears him along with the 8 of Sledgehammer. The 2's looking inside as well.
We got Valley
Here
down
comes
low.
Valley.
Yep, we got Valley down low under Gotham coming down to turn 1. He should be able to clear him with ease coming out of 2. The only question is Valley's going to drift up a little bit. The only question is, can the 78 of JR Horn get there to capitalize as well? And he's not going to be able to get the run out of 2 like the 3. That's a missed opportunity right there for the 78 of JR Horn, as he's getting pressure from behind from the 34.
And here comes Cosmic Storm in 5th place, looking to get up a couple positions all at once.
As
He has to back off just a tad.
Cosmic is going to get under the 34, and he should be able to clear him coming out of turn 2 possibly. I just don't got him. Maybe turn 4 right here. He's going to drive it down in there, force the 34 up the track.
And once again, Valley Racing is your leader and is starting to pull away, and not what these drivers want to see, although it is early in the race. But he definitely made a little bit of contact there with the number 3 of Gotham coming out of turn number 2, a few laps to go to take that position. Definitely some hard racing.
I tell you what, the 34 on the outside was able to hold off Cosmic. I thought Cosmic was to give him a run through his money and pass him with ease. So I think with these little fresher tires early on, the outside is doable. But later in the run, I just don't think the 34 of Aviator was going to be able to do that, but he stood me up right there. Good driving right there from the 34 of Aviator. I do want to give him a quick shout out. Be able to hold off Cosmic.
Will we see the groove move up any in this race is a good question.
No. In my opinion, no. That low line is so dominant. If you're able to get under him and pull a slide job on someone coming out of turn 2, especially turn 2, that's the easiest. That's where you want to pull the slide job out of someone. Because turn 3 and 4, you are able to get a run on that higher side. It's a little bit harder to pull a slide job on someone. If you want to make a pass, I think it's definitely going to be going down into turn 1 as we have a car off the track right there. Looks like the 18
and number
Poopy
18
Pants.
Poopy Pants, yep.
18, yes.
Looks like he might have a flat tire on that inside. Luckily, he's able to keep that thing going. Hopefully, get that thing into fix that flat tire. As we have 34 of Aviator putting some pressure on 78 of JR Horn.
And I'm seeing the number 18 of Poopy Pants on those fresh tires starting to pass some of those cars that he is a lap down to. So hopefully for Poopy Pants, he can maybe stay out there and get on the right cycle and then get a caution. I think that's what he's looking for right now.
And I tell you what, the 34 got by the 78 JR Horn into 1 of Cosmic, gives him a little door, and he's going to sweep by the 78 JR Horn. And we had the 41 of D4C 4-speed able to get by the 7.
Back there.
Oh, they were on a hold together. I don't know what happened. Looked like a little lag maybe.
For sure.
Yeah, it looked like a little lag.
Sure they were going to wreck.
And now we have the 78 of JR Horn under the 41 of 4-speed. Let's see if he gives him a little door.
Meanwhile, while all this is happening, Valley Racing is just walking away in the 21 car. It looks like he's probably got a 2-second lead here over D4C Gotham in second.
Yeah. Man, 4-speed is really fighting on the outside, but I think this time around the 78 Horn's going to get. Oh, he's up in the wall.
Hard in the wall.
And that's going to let the 43 of Tech 9 go right on past him.
I don't know
lose another
what
position.
Happened. I didn't see any contact coming out of turn 4.
He's in the wall again.
It might be lag. He might be lagging around a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely lost some position there, though. I don't know if that was him experiencing lag. Now he's on the bottom.
So we do have the 18 getting ready to pass J.R. Horn of Poopy Pants. We saw him having his issues down low. He is a lap down now, I do believe. But he's going to clear J.R. Horn with ease.
And meanwhile,
right now,
the top 5 is spaced out pretty good there. Valley, of course, is enjoying a big lead at the moment. 2nd through 5th, they're about a car length apart. They seem content to try to draft their way back up to the 21.
And I think that's good right now for these guys. We've gotten a stretch right there. We're getting a lot of cautions in a row. I think if these guys get spread out like they are, get some green flags, runs in, we'll see the strategy play out on early pitting. Are guys going to pit early? Are they going to try and stretch it to get one less pit stop later on? I think these guys are going to average about 40 laps of fuel to a tank. They're hitting lap 80 right now, so we got 120 laps left of the race.
41 car was down pit road. He's coming off a pit road. Yes, there. I seen that. He must have had an issue there that was going on with him. Must have decided to take it to the pits.
One of two things right there could have happened. He either could be doing a strategy like I just said, pitting early, getting those fresh tires, run about a second a lap faster, or he caught that apron. If you catch that apron right there in turn 3 and 4 and you go down whatsoever around that cone, they're going to drag you down pit road.
The dreaded force pit.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what happened to Poopy Pants as well, because he wasn't running that far behind, it looked like, and then all of a sudden we saw him coming out of pit road. So that very well may be what happened to both of those drivers.
It very well could be, and if you take tires, you're losing two laps.
The 34, not to cut you off there, but the 34 Aviator looks to the inside and blows right on past the number 3 of D4C Leauge to take 2nd place.
Yeah, that was a good move right there from Aviator to get by Gotham. It's like Gotham's car is starting to fall off in his later run as the one of Cosmic.
Not so sure that Gotham didn't let him pass there.
The one of Cosmic is catching Gotham very, very fast, it looks like. I'm looking.
Oh, he's up on the wall.
Yeah, the 3.
Smacked the wall there.
The 3 is struggling right now in this long run.
And we see the 18, but he is a lap down, at least 1 lap, if not 2. So he's probably going to go on past Gotham very quickly, but that's not for position.
Yeah, the 18 is not going to be for position. I think Gotham is one of the cars that stayed out on his older tires in that last caution we had. As you can see right now, he is paying for it because he's going to lose a lot of positions once Cosmic. We have Jose right behind him.
Yep, here comes Cosmic. Oh, and Gotham's way up high, almost smacks the wall, but manages to stay off it, losing a lot of positions now.
We saw Gotham and 4-Speed stay out on the same pit stop, and 4-Speed just hit pit road, and he's getting ready to come around Gotham here with this 3-car train on the bottom. Got to question those tires.
Well, and you have to wonder, did they maybe take 2 tires where their balance was okay at the start, but it's just way out of whack at the end of this run? I mean, is that a possibility?
I'm seeing the Sledgehammer have the same issue as the 3. Possibly it's a 2-tire change, but if I had to venture, I would say that it looks like they didn't take any tires on that last stop. Then we got the 14 up in the wall.
Yeah, we got these guys starting to get a little loosey-goosey as they're probably about 15 to 20 laps into this run. This is the longest run they've had all night. It's the first time they're feeling these cars with this amount of draft around the track and how loose they're going to get on this longer run. As we have Gotham and actually Cosmic messed up as he's behind Gotham running right now.
Yeah, that was the 1 car of Cosmic that was up in the wall, not the 14. I apologize. He got that wall pretty good there, and he lost several positions.
And there's going to be more and more lap traffic and drivers on different cycles here. As we're getting more and more spread out, either the slower cars. The number 11 is on the inside of the track. That's CGM Rose. I think he's having a pretty tough day, and he is right now on the apron coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, he's been struggling almost the whole race here. May need to take that thing to pit road and get it fixed here. Hasn't been a good start so far.
I tell you what, I'm watching Valley right now. He's got about a whole stretch on the guy in second place of the 34. Looks like the 34 back there in second. A whole stretch on them.
If you let that 21 of Valley Racing out there in front to just with clean track, have fun catching him.
Yeah, I mean,
and we have Rose coming off of pit road right now, so he did in fact take that car to pit road.
Well, and maybe it's a little bit different for me on my screen, but it looked like he was on the outside of the pit road wall and was alongside of it, almost in the grass. So clearly some issues happening with that number 11 vehicle. Just not sure what's going on, but it's not good.
And we got 4-speed looking inside of the 43 car of
33 car of Tech 9. It's Tech 9. He just passed 4-speed. Now 4-speed is also a couple laps down, as he was forced down pit road as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Those new
correct?
Tires are really, yes, those four tires that he's got on there are really showing right now, as our pole setter's running directly behind both of these two.
And I'm currently watching the leaders at the moment, but it looks like the 34 of Aviator might be closing up the gap just a little bit, or at least maintaining it compared to Valley.
As we had the 11 car, the 11 car down pit road is backwards. Looks like he's having a really bad night. As I'm flipping through the cars to get on Valley.
Yeah, he's actually just exited pit road there, and he's still sitting on the apron down there. Not sure what the issue is, but he's really slow.
34's got on the apron.
Yep.
34 made a huge mistake, as he was picking up ground on the 21 of Valley. 34 of Aviator with a huge mistake, and he's going to lose possibly second place. To the 10 right here is going to be a battle, as the 18 of Poopy Pants is still a lap down.
Wow, that's a tough break, and I've raced here before, and you hit that apron, and a really good job by Aviator of not spinning out the car. So kudos to him for that. Even though he made the mistake, he was smart enough to really get off the gas, and that's hard to do. Oh, I think there's an issue.
The 10's around.
10 car, yep, the number 10 car is up against the wall, right across the start-finish line, and that's going to bring out a caution.
Yes,
the
caution
three
is
went
out.
Around with him. The 3 that got him went around with him there, and he's going to lose several positions in this.
And we're going to get some drivers who are trapped multiple laps down here. Everybody was on a different pit cycle, and I know if you're Valley and the 34 of Aviator and some of these other drivers who are in the top 10 or so, they'll be fine, but you have to worry about drivers like Poopy Pants and some of the others. I'd say you have to lose at least 2 laps when you pit under green.
Yeah, I would probably look for those guys that have pitted to maybe stay out here and take a wave around.
You're going to have to stay out. I mean, if you're 2 laps down, we've got under 100 laps to go. Yeah, there's going to be a crap ton of cautions, but you want to make sure you get these laps back.
And we've got Poopy flying around the track, and his car is on top of another car. Looking there.
Yeah, a little bit of lag there, but that was quite a sight to see.
Not something you see every day at the racetrack, folks.
That's what I call saving fuel.
That's
just taking a ride. That is what I call a saving fuel. As we're going to ride along a valley here with the reverse cam to get this underway. As we have the 34 of Aviator after that huge mistake, still staying in second place.
And now it's the 34 of Tech 9 running in third, with Jose in the number 38 car, your pole sitter, running fourth, still in the hunt. In fifth place, we've got I think that's the 14.
Yeah, we got the 14 in fifth, and we have the 10 of Lightning, who's had a pretty strong night. I'm kind of surprised. So far, my surprise of the race is going to be the 10 of Lightning. I wasn't expecting him to be up here battling with the likes of Valley, the 34 of Aviator, 18 of Poopy Pants. He's pulled a lot of strategy, and it's worked out for him. As
I tell you, Aviator's really putting some pressure on the 21 of Valley right now.
Yeah, I'm watching the battle right now on the stream as Aviator is going to be looking to get low as he gets a good run through turn 2. He's got to check up.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to get into the back of Valley, at least this early in the race, and cause a wreck.
That was a good checkup
Looks
from the 34 of Aviator. Let's see if he's able to stick with Valley. We knew Valley pulled on those guys, but like you said, he did.
Oh, he got
Valley.
loose. He got loose. Oh, Valley's up on the wall.
He's in the bumper, and I believe Aviator just moved Valley out of the way, and Valley is going to lose about 3, maybe 4 positions here as the 10 clears him.
Wow, I didn't quite expect to see that happen this early in the race. I know that the 34 was definitely running a little bit faster and was putting some pressure on Valley, but man, maybe Valley just got a little bit loose there too. I know there was a little bit of contact, but I think Valley might have gotten loose.
Yeah, there was definitely contact from the back, and you asked earlier if we'd see anybody move anybody, and that may be what just took place there.
There was definitely bumper to bumper, but like you said, Formula, I think he got a little loose coming out of turn 2, which caused the bumper to happen. As you saw the previous lap, Aviator had a huge run in turn 2, and he let up. He let Valley have it. I think Valley was pushing a little loose coming out that time, and Aviator just didn't have the time to check up. As we should have a new battle right here for second place as the 43 of Tech 9 and the 38 of Jose starting to heat up, and we have the 10 of Lightning right here looking to get under the 38 of Jose.
Just on a quick side note here, the troubles for the 11 car have forced him to pit road, and I believe he's already in the garage area.
Wow, so not sure if that was a problem with the setup or maybe his wheel or who knows what, but certainly a tough break for the number 11 of CGM Rose. Such a promising start that just went to the wayside.
Yeah, he's a top-tier driver. He's a good driver. I was with him all the time. He's definitely got talent. Obviously, they just didn't bring the right car. Obviously, maybe they were having engine issues tonight, wheel problems. Just didn't have the talent tonight to make it happen. But I guarantee you next week, he's going to be up there running for the lead.
I'm watching the 3 and 41 here on back in the pack just a little bit, nose to tail here. That looks like they're going to get inside of the 37 car here on exit. Oh, 41's inside of the 3 here.
I tell you, we had the 10.
Pretty good battle.
We had the 10 looking low on Jose for this battle with third is heating up. Jose was able to get by him, and the 10's down low coming into turn 1. Will he be able to pull a slide job on Jose coming out? I don't think so, because Jose's going to get a decent run out of the corner, but he's into the wall, and that's going to give the 10 the inside line to be able to clear him coming out of turn 4.
And Valley's right there as well, looking to take position. As they're side by side going into turn number 1, I think Valley's going to get it this time.
Yeah, Valley's going to be able to clear him coming out of turn 2. I was expecting Jose to be able to pull up a little bit more of a fight right there. I think he might have just let him have it so he can get back in line, not let anybody else pass him. He doesn't want to lose too many positions.
And I tell you what, Valley's a man on a mission. You know, he got a little bit of an incident there with our leader. Lost a few positions, and he was all over the back bumper of the number 10 of Lightning Bird there just a couple laps before. So let's see if he can get up through those second and third place cars and set his sights back on our leader, number 34 of Aviator.
I'm going to run with the hood view right here of Valley for a couple of laps. Look at this beautiful view. Look at the line he's taking. Look how low he's getting. Look how close he's getting to the yellow line. That's what you want, because you want to be able to get the run off the corner towards the wall. As he's getting so much lower as he's bouncing around in turn 3. Everybody's got that dreaded bouncing in turn 3. As we have the 10 of...
Oh, he's looking.
The 10 is looking on the 43. The 10 of Lightning is looking on the 43 of Tech 9 right now.
He's able to hold it down low right there.
I'm going to stay on this hood view of Valley. And Valley's looking on the outside of the 10 of Lightning.
And meanwhile, this is letting the 38 close right back up behind him here.
Valley's going low on the 10 into turn 1.
Oh, he hit the apron. Valley hit the apron. Wow. Great save by Valley. And the number 10, Lightning Bird, smacked the outside wall coming out of turn number 2. Valley didn't lose as much position as I thought he would.
The biggest winner.
If the 30 had been a little bit closer there, I believe he would have gave that spot up.
The biggest winner of that is the 43 of Tech 9. He's got about 2 to 3 car lengths on the 10 of Lightning right now, and he's the biggest winner. Also the biggest winner of that is going to be the 30 of Jose. We saw him struggling right there, but now he's caught Valley. Let's see if he can give Valley a little bit run for his money.
And I think for a moment they're maybe just taking a deep breath trying to get, back to normal. A lot of action.
Jose's on the apron down here, folks, and he's going to get passed by the 20 and the 14, 0-1 on the backstretch here.
That apron gets another driver.
Yes.
That apron is a monster, like we said in the broadcast booth early on. It will just eat people alive. So far through this race, who is your biggest surprise, Formula?
I gotta tell you, Aviator is really my biggest surprise, along with Tech 9. I mean, I know they're running 1 and 2 right now, but they just went on my radar. I've ran with both of them before. I know they're great drivers. Just did not see this happening. And really, I'll have to throw Lightning Bird as well too.
I tell you what, you stole my pick from me. Lightning in that 10 car is my biggest surprise. I mean, he ran about 15, 20 laps in the lead. I mean, he's up there with the leaders on the amount of laps led. As 34 of Aviator right now is just crushing it. But the 10 of Lightning is definitely my surprise. Who is your biggest surprise, Tease?
I think that I'm going to go on the opposite side of the spectrum here and go with the 41 of D4C 4-speed. After early problems here, he finds himself back in the pack. I'm kind of surprised about where he's currently running at, but I do look for him to get back up there.
And here comes Valley looking to the inside of Tech 9 as the number 10 of Lightning Bird took second place as well.
Yeah, that was a nice clean pass by that 21 car. It's to see if he can catch the 10 for second of Lightning.
And at this stage in the race, how many laps do we have left? As we've got to be past halfway at this
We
mark.
are past halfway. We're on lap 123. So we're coming down to the wire.
We got a lap car here holding our leader up in the 34
We have
of Aviator, he just moved the 13 out of his way there. Didn't want to be riding around for too long.
Well, that was JCX12, and certainly I think the 34 of Aviator is a man on a mission and is not looking to get held up too much.
He's stretching it right on out on him here. And now everyone behind him is going to have to deal with that same lap car.
Well, perhaps the 13 might be a little more, how should I put this, cautious of, holding up some of the leaders. Oh, the number 21 of Valley goes
Valley
way up the track. I don't know if the 43, they may have had some contact. I couldn't quite tell, was on the edge of my camera angle, but definitely a setback for Valley Racing.
Absolutely. Not sure how many spots he lost there.
I think he just lost one position.
Place.
I think he's still running in 4th place. He was running 3rd. The 43 of Tech 9, who was right behind him. Couldn't tell if there was contact or what happened, but I think that's the only position he actually lost. So be curious to see how Valley Racing handles Tech 9 if that was some contact.
As they're moving under the lap car, the number 13 of JCX12 there. Valley is in fact in 5th place here.
Now, the question is going to be is strategy is going to start coming into play as we're getting ready to go under 70 laps. Like I said, I do believe these guys get 40 laps of fuel. So they're in their pit window to pit 2 more times. Would you go ahead and gamble, Deeds? Do a 2-stop early pit strategy?
If I'm up front,
Valley on the apron.
I don't think I'm going to get it. Yeah, Valley's on the apron here, and he's slow. He's slow off at 2.
And that got the 43 involved as well. I think Valley Racing drove really hard into turn number 1. I hate to cut you off there. Number 20 coming in. I believe that's number 20 of Heat.
Yeah, the 20 got that shredded line, automatic pit. He went on that line. That's automatic pit. So for the 20, I'm going ahead with the strategy. You're already going to go laps down. Go ahead and take 4 tires, gas, and hope for the best.
And we know he's got to serve a penalty right there, so that's going to cost him at least 2 laps.
Yeah, he's got to serve the penalty. So you might as well fill up, take them tires. As we're going to cycle through the field, we're going to look at the 834 and see how big of a lead has he got on second. Now the 10 of Lightning is still holding on.
The 10 is right there. The 37 car of Pro Viper there is running, and it looks like he's a little tight getting up through the turns, as Valley is pressuring him now for, I believe, his third place. And Valley's underneath the 37, and he'll take that position easily, and he's moved up to third.
And as you say, the number 10 of Lightning Bird is just closing the gap after each lap on the 34, our leader. And it's really shrinking it.
Gotta wonder if he's saving any here, or trying to, take care of his tires. I mean, he had a great big lead there for a while, and that's really shrunk down, and he's under attack now from the 10.
I tell you what, these two cars got different strengths. The 34's got a good car on exit, but the 10's entry is phenomenal. Look at him just close right here coming into turn 3. But he loses it off of 4 just a little bit. Now he's closing more into the turns, but if he can get that car just right to come off the turns, even better. That 10's going to win this race, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the corner speed is going to be the most important thing here, especially on that last lap coming out of turn 3 and 4.
He did make a little hiccup hitting that line in turn 3, but luckily he didn't get that automatic pit, because that would have ruined his night and his run.
And I gotta tell you, running in third place, Valley Racing, he's had a really fast car all night, but some uncharacteristic mistakes by him. He's hit the apron a few times coming out of turn number 2, and sometimes that might be due to some contact, but definitely not what I'm used to seeing out of Valley Racing.
Yeah, we've also seen him in the wall a few times here on exit. I don't know if he's just trying to catch those guys up front, and overdriving it, or what's going on here.
So a little bit of developing story. We had the one of Cosmic Storm in pits with a blown engine. His night is done. That's a huge letdown for the one of Cosmic Storm, because he had one of the strongest cars tonight early on.
Yeah, he ran up front most of the night there. That's really a shock. I'm really surprised at that there.
That's a tough break for him, and man, the number 10 at Lightning Bird is right on that yellow line coming through turns 3 and 4. And I think he's closing the gap just a little bit more now.
Yeah, all that time he gained on the 34 of Aviator. When he hit the apron, he lost it all. But yes, he's starting to get bigger in the rearview mirror of that 34 of Aviator. Look at the gain he gets in turn 3. It's amazing. But now the 10 of Lightning is going to have to battle this lap car coming down turn 1.
And the 34 hit that just right.
And I tell you what, that 31, the lap car down, got down in front of the 10, and it scared me. I thought he was going to push him down below the apron, but he right up in the middle of the corner, let him by. So it's a good, smart driving right there, the 31.
Heck of a battle going on here behind the 21 of Valley Racing, as we got AK Poopy Pants and the 43 of...
Oh, the number 10 of Lightning Bird smacks the outside wall coming out of turn number 2. A costly mistake by him. And I have to ask, is AK Poopy Pants on the lead lap? Because I think he was still a lap down after that lap.
I don't believe he is, but he just gave the 43 here. Sorry, I can't come up with the name real quick here, but he gave the 43 a real Tech 9. He gave Tech 9 a real good lag punch right in the nose there, and sent him back about 10 positions, or 10 car lengths.
Wow.
I tell you what, that's going to be interesting to see if he was on the lead lap, because if he wasn't, and he did that to me...
we may have a caution. I think we have a caution out on the track.
Yeah, caution is out.
And this is going to shake things up. Gentlemen, what do you do in a situation like this? If you're the leaders, I assume it's 4 tires and gas?
So I'll tell you right now, Pro Viper is the first car a lap down. He's going to get the lucky dog. He's currently sitting 12th. So I'm going to go ahead and assume Poopy Pants is on the lead lap.
Boy, he must have really fought to get back on the lead lap after those other problems.
No, I stand corrected. Poopy Pants is 2 laps down.
Okay, yeah. To answer your question there, I believe everybody's going to take 4 tires here, probably 2 tanks of fuel, and that should make them through on one more stop, maybe, 1 can HD?
Yeah, there's 50 laps left, If anything, it's going to be a gas and go situation. But honestly, I expect a lot of cautions to happen, so I think they're not going to make it on any more stops. So at this point in time, I'm staying out no matter what. I'm not pitting at all.
The 10 car looks like he's dropping to the back of the field there.
Yeah, some kind of an issue there. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, it looked like his right wheel fell off.
He
just went straight into the wall.
Sitting there. Yeah.
I think his right front wheel just fell off because...
I'm trying to get back to him here. He's just sitting there against the wall.
Wow.
And now he's taking off. He must have got it refired. The car definitely doesn't look right. It's wobbling back and forth here. Might have a problem with the 10.
And we're
they're
underway.
back under green.
Yep, go ahead, take it.
The 34 of Aviator comes out of turn number 2, down the backstretch. But they're very squirrely going back through the field. So far, no caution. But Valley Racing, that number 21 Ford is right behind him in second place. The number 43 of Tech 9 in third. And 19 in fourth.
Lagging. He's surge lagging really hard here in front of the 14.
I tell you what, the 21 of Valley got into the 34 that coming out of turn 2 and it forced him up the track. I think that might have been a little payback from early on.
That's what I was about to say. I believe, didn't we already have those two get together once here?
Yes, we did.
I don't think Valley was too happy.
I don't think he was because he just moved the 34 out of the way, and we have a new race leader, the 21. As the 43 is having a strong night. He's another one of those cars that we didn't really talk about in the pre-race. He's up here running third, as well as the 14 is in fourth. Let's go and get a name on him real quick. Again, sorry, I'm new me. That's Muffin. Muffin's running currently fourth. Actually, there's a battle for fourth right now going on with Jose.
Definitely some lag on the 43, as Dirty Deed said earlier. I hope that's just on the stream and not actually out there on the racetrack. We see that happen sometimes where the stream lags, but the actual race is fine. So, but right now the 43 of Tech 9's hanging in there as the 34 is all over the back bumper of Valley Racing. Aviator got shoved out of the way, and oh man, I thought there had some contact. There might have been just a little bit of lag.
It looked like a little bit of bumper. It looked like a little bit of bumper right there in 3 and 4. 34 gave 21. But we have a 3-car breakaway right now.
Yeah, right.
We have 2 3-car.
We've got the 14 that just got passed by Gotham, and I believe that would be the 38, our pole setter of Jose that got by.
As we have 2 3-car breakaways, but this front 3-car breakaway is quickly turning into a 2-car breakaway as the 43 is starting to struggle on the exit of these turns.
And it's going to be really interesting to see as the tire wear falls off. If we don't have any more cautions, whether Valley can keep that first place position or the 34, the Aviator or somebody else will come up through the field.
Now, I think these two guys, cars are set up way different. The 34 is very, very fast on that long run. We know that. We saw him pull away from everybody. Where Valley had trouble last time on the long run, he was getting a little swirly coming out of the turn too. So I think Valley does have the stronger short run car. So I think this might turn into 34's hands, especially as we get winding down these laps with under 50 to go. If all these guys stay out, they're going to be on these older tires, and this might fall right in the laps of the 34 of Aviator.
Well, and the thing is, too, that Aviator is still right on the back bumper of Valley Racing. It's not like Valley Racing is off to a really, really strong lead here, and 34 is going to have to reel him back in for the time being. He is hanging in there, and if Valley Racing continues to have fall off and the 34 gets better, then you're right, it could be Aviator's race.
Looks like he's content to just follow right at the moment. Possibly put a little pressure on him.
Yeah, with a little over 50 to go, I do expect Aviator to just follow. No need to force the issue right now with this many laps left in the race. So I think right now he is waiting for the 21 to make a mistake. Now that doesn't happen very often, but we see it at this race. The 21 has made mistakes. And I think 34 of Aviator knows that, so he's pretty content riding, especially with that lap growing larger on third place. Third place of a Tech 9.
Yeah, it looks like Tech 9 struggling just a little bit, doesn't have quite the pace. But you never know, especially in a short track race like this, where the apron's been, so treacherous for some of these drivers. If Valley Racing and Aviator start battling and one of them wrecks the other or they end up on the apron, this could play right into Tech 9's hands in third place. So you just never know what can happen.
He's definitely sitting in the catbird seat. As I got my eye on fourth place, Jose. Jose's starting to catch Tech 9 in the 43.
34 got in the wall a little bit there, and that's going to open it up for Valley just a little bit here.
As that action happens, as I'm switching cameras, as it's happened all night. I switch cameras and some action happens. Trying to get up with the 38 of Jose. See what he's doing right now.
Well, he's definitely running pretty strong, and he has all race. Our pole sitter, a little bit of a shock to me. He was my underdog, I guess dark horse pick, you could say, but he's really hung in there, and just a fantastic job by him. Another driver who, depending on what happens with some cautions, might be there at the end.
As we had the 3 of Gotham behind Jose, about 10 car lengths, and the 14 is behind him. Is rounding out your top 5 as these guys are all spread out.
And I think the 34 of Aviator is closing up the gap just a little bit on Valley Racing. Using that draft, and I think as Valley's run continues on, that's going to change just a little bit more in Aviator's favor. Although I think he made another
Aviator
mistake.
just got the apron there, and that's going to cost him there everything that he gained.
It seems like in the past broadcast, I've cursed somebody. I start complimenting him, and next thing you know, disaster unfolds, and that holds true for this race. But that apron, really, as it's gotten just about everybody, I will say I am amazed at some of the talent of these drivers, where I know in a lot of races, a lot of leagues, if you hit that apron, you're automatically spinning out. And the talent that these drivers have to be able to save their car and keep it, from getting completely out of control is just really a true testament to the skill level of the D4C Collar Street Cup Series. But still,
absolutely, these guys are professional.
There's a lot of, I just want to follow up on what you're saying. There's a lot of top tier drivers. Not only drivers who can run default, but drivers who can run full setups. The talent that is in this league that is here tonight it's ridiculous. It's through the roof. Without a doubt, one of the hardest leagues to win in. If you win in this league, that's an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
And we should take the time to mention that D4C is going to have a open setup league coming soon. I believe they're going to run once a month, and so that's a new. Valley Racing hit the outside wall. That may have been lag. I think it was. But something we definitely want to highlight.
It looked like a little bit of lag right there from the 21 of Valley hitting the wall, because he did keep his momentum up, and he did keep that gap on the 34 of Aviator as they come down into turn 1. As the 43 of Tech 9 was able to close the gap on these front twos, but it's opened back up.
I tell you, there's an entire straightaway from first to fourth. Watching from the front here on first place, looking back through, coming down that entire backstretch, I couldn't even see the 5th place car on the track there before going into the next turn. So these front runners are really putting it out there on them.
Well, we've got some lap traffic these leaders are going to have to deal with very soon. The number 13 car, that JCX12, is slowly but surely, Valley Racing is catching up to him, and he's going to have to deal with that. And there's already been a few issues with lap cars today, either getting punted out of the way or almost causing a wreck, and that's just a part of short track racing especially.
Oh, yeah, and Valley's quickly catching him. I look for him to be on him here about the next turn 3 and turn 1 and 2 here.
And if he gets held up just a lap or so, that's going to let Aviator catch right back up.
Oh, the 13 gets loose out of 2, and that's going to help Valley a lot. Hopefully he's able to clear him. The 13 hits him a little bit in 3 and 4.
Oh, wow. Oh, and the 13 gets hit by the 34 Aviator. He's just like a pinball out there.
They're saying, get out of my way. We're trying to win this race, man.
I got to go.
Yeah.
Well, I would say Valley cannot be happy with the contact by a lap car. And Aviator has definitely made it about a 2-car length gap.
So we're under 30 laps to go in the race. The question of the matter right now is, do these guys have enough fuel to make it? When we pitted, there was just over 50 laps. We had like 62 to high 50s, and I was expecting there to be a lot of cautions here, and there hasn't been one. So now comes the strategy of a short pit.
It's going to kind of depend on what kind of mileage that you're getting, which everybody should be getting a little bit different fuel mileage, and maybe some of the people in the back there have been saving to avoid making another pit stop.
Well, it seems like the short tracks like Richmond is where you can save the most fuel because you're coasting through the corners and you're not running wide open like a Talladega or Michigan on this particular game. So if there's fuel to be saved, it's definitely here. But I guarantee you our top 2 drivers are not in fuel save mode. They're going for it. The 34 Aviator is right there on the back bumper of Valley Racing.
And I want to throw a little strategy up there. I need a drink, Jesus. A little strategy out there with what I would be doing. If I'm the top 5 cars right now, you're going to run this thing dry. But if you're 6 on back, and the reason why I'm saying 6 on back, because of the massive gap these front cars have on the rest of the pack. If you're 6 on back, you might as well come down, top off, and hope these guys run out so you can make up that time. Now, the only thing that's going to screw you on is if there's a caution. If there's a caution, you are going to go multiple laps down.
On the backstretch there. Something to watch there. I'm not sure if he collected anybody there or not.
So far, we're still green. And I think for the time being, we're okay.
Yeah, we're still underway
here and get back to him. Yeah, he's back underway here.
Yeah, single car spins usually don't cause a caution, which is honestly a good thing. It's a blessing because there's been a lot of single car spins this race.
Absolutely.
But the 21 and 34 put a massive gap on the the 43 of Tech 9. It's pretty much a battle right now for these two for the win of the race if this thing goes green.
And they can make it on fuel, as you mentioned before. That's a really big question, and there's definitely some drama building up, not only between these 2 drivers, but the rest of the field as well.
I'm going to go ahead and take a quick minute to thank the chat. They said I'm going to give a shout-out to announcers. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. It was a rough start at first. Had a lot of stream problems, but we were able to get through it. I think we're good, running good now. So hopefully we're producing a nice stream for everybody out there to watch. Again, also want to give a quick shout-out to the sponsor of D4C. I want to thank Color Street Nails. Guys, again, if you're in a doghouse, you got the next door neighbor you might have a little crush on. I know February is coming up. Valentine's Day, Christmas. It's the season of giving. Why don't you go ahead and hit the colorstreetnails.com. Buy them some nice nails. I guarantee you, they will thank you. They will love you. If you're in the doghouse, you will be in bed tonight. If you want that crush, go out on a date. Hell, she might say yes. So again, big shout out to colorstreetnails.com.
And still a really great battle here for first and second place, although it looks like the 34th Aviator has backed off just a tad. I couldn't quite tell if he had made a mistake through one of the turns, and now he closes the gap yet again. So
I think he may be backing off and trying to cool his tires down a little bit there.
And at what lap do you guys think, I should say, that these drivers who are farther back through the field, you try and pit earlier in the cycle to get the freshest tires possible, or you just do a splash and go right at the end? I mean, what's your takeaway for this?
Well, my takeaway is there's 15 laps to go. So go ahead and throw tires out the window if you haven't done that yet. So it's going to be a splash and go situation. If you're at the back of the field, I'd say go ahead and do it. You have nothing to lose. You're not catching a 21 and 34. But as far as the 21 and the 34, at this point, I'd try saving fuel. And that might be what the 34 of Aviator is doing.
That's a very good possibility. And Valley gets held up there by a lap car, the 31.
The 31 does hold up to 21 of Valley. But as I'm seeing the 34 drift off of Valley, he's not really messing up any. I almost guarantee you the 34 is saving fuel.
Hey, let's not forget the 43 at Tech 9 is running there in third place, and he has definitely backed off the pace, along with Jose 720 in fourth. So, these two drivers in first and second place have been battling really hard this entire fuel run, but those guys in third and fourth have been slowly but surely falling back. So, I have to wonder if it's almost too late, and the 34 is on the apron.
The 34 is on the apron there. He had to get out of the gas or else he was going to run the 31 car over. I think that got him a little loose and down on the apron.
You know what they say about the 31, right?
Yeah, with 12 to go.
They do say that
everything.
They do say that 31 car is the toughest car to pass on the track every week. And I tell you what, it stands here in D4C as well as that 31. Excuse me, let me get the driver to 31 real quick. It is the 31 of Outlaw. Outlaw is driving that machine to 31. He is taking up his best Ryan Newman in that 31. It is difficult to pass, and he's making it difficult all night. But I'd like to go back to what you were saying, Formula, on this 43 of Tech 9. If he's been saving fuel this whole time, and these other two, the 34 of Aviator, the 21 of Valley, they've been pushing it for most of this run. If this 43 of Tech 9 has been saving this whole time, he might be sitting in the best position to win this.
And we just don't know how much fuel these guys have left. I think that's what's the real stressful part for these drivers and for us up here in the booth. I mean, they have an idea of how much fuel they have left, but my goodness, you just never know sometimes.
I'll tell you, our second place car just cannot get around that 31 of Outlaw. I mean, he is just blocking every single lane.
So we are under 10 laps to go. Who do you have, Formula, under 10?
Ooh, it's a really hard question. I'm going to have to go with the 34. I really think that Aviator has just saved just enough fuel, and I think Valley might run out.
Who do you have, Deeds?
Well, that 34 has finally cleared the 13 back, or the 31 back there, so, boy, it's hard to bet against Valley, but not knowing what he has in the gas tank, as I see the 20 is setting crossways against pit road there. I just think that if the 21 didn't have enough fuel, he would probably have already been to pit road.
I also...
Oh, the 34 hit the wall. The 34, the curse yet again of Aviator. Wow, that was a major mistake, and that's going to let Valley back off a little bit.
And it looks like the 31 may get around him back there. He did. He's on the inside.
That's not what he wanted to see. What's your pick? And I know after that, it may have changed, but HD, what do you think is going to happen here?
I'm going to go ahead and pick Valley. Oh, Valley looks like there's a little lag right there. With this big of a gap now on the 34, it's almost a whole straightaway. He's going to be able to save an enormous amount of fuel. He can let up for a whole straightaway before the 34 of Aviator is going to catch him. So unless the 21 hits the apron in one of these turns, which I expect him, as he is in 3 and 4, running extremely high, he's not even near the yellow. It's a very smart move as we are under 5 laps to go in the race. I think he's going to win this.
As the 34 is in jeopardy here of losing second place, and he's back under the 13.
Yeah, the 43 at Tech 9's definitely caught up to him.
The 43 followed him through there underneath that 13 car, so looks like the battle really is going to be for second place.
So we've got 4 more laps to go here at Richmond.
Oh,
the 31 blocks the 43 hard.
Nah, I think
that's a caution, I believe.
We're under caution with only 5 laps to go. This changes everything.
No, we're under 5. It's going to be a green-white checker. We are going to have a green-white
checker. If you're the leader, how important is tires here?
You're staying out. Top 5, top 6, you're staying. Honestly, top 5, you're staying out. Green-white checker, you're staying out. Now,
and that's assuming you have enough fuel. I mean, what if we get another caution?
Oh no, the race is over.
Here at the start.
No, there was no caution. Race is over. Excuse me, the guy I was watching on stream. Yeah, the guy I was watching on stream was a couple laps down from their D4C Leauge.
Wow, so
yeah, race is over. Valley
Racing is our winner.
What a great job by Valley Racing and
looks like the 43 is in third. Tech 9. So let's go ahead and get these guys up in the booth. Go ahead and switch over, and I say we get the 10 in here in the booth as well as the night he's had. I mean, he had a hell of a night.
Well, sometimes you just don't know. But great job by Valley.
Great run there. Not sure how he managed to fuel or what his tires was looking like, but he definitely, once he got out front, I think that's what everybody didn't want to see happen.
Hold on, I'm going to go ahead and get these guys into the broadcast booth. We want the top 3 and the 10.
And I got to tell you, Dirty Deeds, while we're waiting on our winner and top finishers here, I think pretty much everybody was able to make it on fuel. I didn't see anybody diving on pit road to get fuel or tires, so they may have had to back off a little bit, but it must have been pretty comfortable.
That's what I'm thinking there. I didn't see anybody run out or really slow down much, except for maybe a few laps there in the middle. But it looks like they had plenty to go for it there at the end.
Yeah, and I think we had a lot of cautions there at the start, but for the most part, it was a pretty clean race. I think for a short track, as the race went on, only like 1 or 2 cautions there, I think, in the last 100 laps, if my count was correct. So pretty clean driving. It's some very hard racing. Definitely some beaten bang in between Valley and the 34 of Aviator, and we'll have to get their take on it when we get them here in the booth. But I really enjoyed this one, Deeds.
Yeah, I did too, and I said at the top of the broadcast there that anything under 10 cautions would be good, and according to my calculations, we didn't hit 10. I'm pretty sure we had 8 cautions that race.
Yeah, so for a 200-lap race at a short track with no damage model, I think that's pretty impressive.
I would agree with that. Yes, absolutely.
All right, guys, so we should have our top 3. Lightning, our quick race pick, who is our biggest surprise of the race, is not in here. But we do have the 43 of Tech 9 in here. Tech 9, you got a copy?
I do got a copy.
Man, what a race tonight. It was a little rough early on. You didn't qualify so well, but what propelled you to finish 3rd place?
Man, I knew I had a good car once I got my setup in, and once I did get my setup in, I was able to keep pace with Aviator and Valley there. But during the run, my car was solid, almost 3/4 of the run. But that last 10 laps, man, my car fell off bad, and I was losing to them. But man, I battled all day and got a 3rd place, and pretty happy.
I tell you what, brother, a 3rd place in this stack field, you go ahead and take that home, and you be happy with that, man. Deeds, why don't you go ahead and take 2nd place, the 34 of Aviator.
Hey, Aviator. You had a good run tonight there. Looks like you had a little issue there with the lap car, the 13 there, for the last 10 or so laps there. Do you think if you could have cleared him that maybe you might have had something for that 21 car of Valley Racing?
Honestly, with 20 to go, my car just fell off so much, I didn't think I did.
Well, you were right there. I mean, for several laps, we were watching there, and you were stalking right in his tracks there, and we seen a few mistakes out of him that we thought maybe you was going to be capitalizing on. You feel you might have overdrove it early?
Definitely did. I could have capitalized on some of his mistakes, but I didn't want to race like that. Get raced the way you raced.
Well, but then, like HD said there, in a stacked field like this, to come bringing home 2nd place, I would definitely nothing to hold your head about there. So congratulations on the 2nd place finish.
Thank you.
All right, Formula, why don't you go ahead and get our race winner, Valley Racing.
Well, here we are in victory lane yet again, and it is Valley Racing. I would say the Jimmy Johnson of sorts for NASCAR Heat 3 and other similar titles. But Valley, I got to tell you, that was a really hard race between you and the 34 of Aviator. I know there was a contact at first between you two, and then later on, nothing too serious. But how tough was it out there?
Oh yeah, man, it was a heck of a race between me and the 34. It was, like you said, just a lot of short track racing, I guess you'd call it. Bump and runs was really the only way to pass there without people making mistakes. It was just trying to keep that bottom line and protect it towards the end.
And certainly that apron got you and some others. I mean, how tough was it to run that really low groove and not make a mistake?
Yeah, that was tough. Being able to hit lap after lap consistent. I know I struggled with it a lot through the earlier part of the runs and had to make some big adjustments on my car throughout the race, especially for the long runs. My car kept getting way too loose over the course of the long runs early on.
And how important was track position for a race like this?
Oh, no doubt that was one of the most important things to not getting stuck back in traffic. The front 3 or 4 cars could get going before you could work your way up through them, and you pretty much were just riding after that point, hoping for a caution.
And we were certainly wondering on that last green flag run, the fuel mileage. I mean, how close were you on fuel? Were you trying to save any there towards the end, or were you good to go?
I was 2 laps to the good. It was definitely close. I was keeping an eye on it throughout the run.
All right. Well, a fantastic performance by you, Valley Racing. Congratulations once again. Here we are in Victory Lane, and back to you, HD.
All right, I'm going to do a couple more interviews right here. We have Knighton here running the 15 car. This was his very first D4C race. Knight, how was it?
Well, I tell you what, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be with my car. Early in the week, I just couldn't get the thing to turn, and we got into qualifying, and I put the thing fourth on the starting grid, which actually surprised me. I didn't know the car would run that good in qualifying. Got in the race, and the car was a little bit too loose to begin with, so we made adjustments on them early cautions. I'd say we got to the next to last caution there, and I made an adjustment on the car, and it made it a little too tight in the center. So I was having a little bit of trouble turning it, but later in the run, it started, freeing up a little bit to where I could actually run through, get through the turns a little better. So all in all, for the first race, I felt like I ran good. Like I said, qualified good, brought her home 10th. So I feel like a good top 10 finish for my first outing's not too shabby.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. As long as you run good, you look good, might even have some Color Street fingernails on, looking good. As long as you had a good time, brother, as always next week. We do have the 10 of Lightning Bird in the in the broadcast booth. Lightning, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
I tell you what, man, early on, that was some strategy you were pulling, brother.
Some of it was accidental. Then I saw my car start pulling away, and I was like, I actually have a fast car.
Well, I'll tell you what, accidental or not, man, what a show from you. I mean, none of us up in the booth were, I don't want to say we were expecting you up there, but it was definitely a surprise to see the 10 up there running as strong as you did. How was the track on the long run? Did it get loose?
It got, really loose. But I felt like even when we had that long run, when I was in third, I was still catching on first and second, even with my car loose. With my car so loose, I was still running sevens. So I felt like I still had a chance.
All right, man. Now, guys,
I've got a question for you there, Lightning Bird. We saw you there drop from second place to up against the wall. What was the issue there when you were stuck against that outside wall?
Well, I had an unexpected visitor to my house, and I had to go answer the door. But
I gotcha.
I drove the wheels off the car, hoping for a caution.
We're gonna chop that down as a loose wheel. You had a big malfunction or something like that, but you were able to get back out onto the track. All right, guys, so that's going to do it live from Richmond. This is the D4C Racing League. Now, guys, this league is sponsored by Color Street Nails. I've been saying all night, if you're in the doghouse and you want to get back into bed tonight, make sure to check out colorstreetnails.com. And I guarantee you, by tomorrow night, you'll be cutting up.
Star Shine Nails.
Yes, / Star Shine Nails. I'm going to try and get that into the video next week at Michigan. Michigan is next week. It should be a fairly fast-paced, fun race. Formula, what are you expecting next week at Michigan?
Wow, that's one of my favorite tracks to race at, and I think we're definitely going to see more of a pack-style racing, a lot different than what we saw today. I have to admit, I think the Cosmic Storm might be my early favorite for this particular race, but obviously Valley is going to be really tough, and a lot of other drivers as well. So I'll be looking forward to this one coming up.
Deez, what is your early prediction next week in Michigan?
Boy, I tell you, high speed, high draft, being in the right place, right time, and able to actually to pass there when we're probably going to be like Formula said there, pack racing, and the suck up on the cars is so great. We're going to have to see a lot of really good driving out of there. As far as early predictions go, I mean, there's not a track that I could honestly say that Valley does not have a chance at winning at. But I've also I've had the privilege of racing here with D4C Gotham, and I know that he has a really strong piece. And as right now, I'm going to say that Gotham is going to be my early pick for next week.
As I think we might be having technical difficulties with the stream, and we're gonna have to wrap it up right now. That's definitely that's a good pick, good strong pick. Guys, I want to thank you for coming out and watching this D4C race. And until next time, God bless, and we'll see you on the track.